is basically exposition for like it's basically a prequel to like everything that's going on. Like it was hinted at previously in like the show, you know, like hinted at, and like you would be like, oh, what the fuck is this, or like, oh, what's going on? I hope they explain this. And to explain it, they did, you know, a different thing. No, yeah, it would take more time. So they did something different. Instead of making like a whole new season of the series, they made a trilogy of movies that perfectly explain, you know, the like what was going on and those things that were hinted at, or like to give exposition to things. Like it's a prequel, so it's basically giving exposition on things that have already happened. So it's just more understanding. So it's just building upon concepts that were already established and things like that. That's what I would call a movie that actually is helpful to a series rather than just wanting money or just like there for just, you know, there to just exist. See, like there's a lot of different ways that people or writers or anyone that's creating like different medias or like different iterations of medias could use different types of medias to their advantage when they're like usually strict to one type. Like you can make spin-offs off the movies. Spin-offs are usually just for money because spin-offs are pointless to the original story. Or they can make movies that tie into the story of the series. It's actually pretty smart because you get more money from the movies, but you also like it's a cash grab, but it's also a cash grab that's actually helpful. So you actually gonna get something from that cash grab besides the niggas that's like not about to watch that bullshit if it's bullshit.
Like I would say superheroes, they're like the best way to explain it because what's it called? Okay, there's a difference between a terrible, like how you write like about a superhero, and there's a good way, I believe, because what's it called? If you make like a terrible one, it'll be like if he's like they either make him like really powerful where basically he like loses over like one stupid thing even though you know that he's gonna literally beat him like later on, or there's one that he's like battling like in like he has a weakness
Donovan.
or whatever. Yeah.
Hey, for me, if I would experience superhero movies or shows, what I would look for is more quality. I mean, substance over quality. Quality being like enjoyment and entertainment.
Yeah.
Like fights or like how powerful the character is over substance and depth and, you know, more meaning to things that are like, you know, like his character maybe. Like I wouldn't like to watch a blindless, like a fucking mindlessly, blindly fucking just like overly good hero. I would like an anti-hero that has like general motives and general background that play and feed into why he isn't like perfect. Because perfection can never be done. And when you try to reach perfection, it's just sickening because it comes out imperfect because perfection doesn't exist. Like you trying to make a perfectly good, like flawless character, but he's gonna be flawed as hell because a lot of people have problems with you trying to make perfection. I'd rather like a perfect character to me is a character with the most flaws you could possibly make. That's what a perfect character to me is. Especially what?
You literally like what's it called? You guys asked why I watched the Green Arrow. That was literally the exact reason why. Like I can't believe you just like that shit's like what's it called? Because he's not perfect because he kills or whatever, and that's why he's not perfect in that way.
Yeah, it at least creates some type of like inner turmoil that the fucking character has to do something, use some type of plot device to you know, separate them from other superheroes. You know, like, because then you just like, because when they're perfect and they're just like sought out to be this such good person, like I hate to just mindlessly root for a character. I want to, you know, feel more than just like mindless devotion to this nigga action or like what he going on, because like I already know what's gonna happen if he blindlessly good, because good always prevails over evil. But what if he himself is the one that blurs the line between good and evil, and he is both? That's true. That's true perfection. That's truly a flawed character. Someone that's able to shift in between good and evil, if that even exists. Like definition of good or evil is only defined by the writer in which the work that he is placing that character within. Say evil Like, say you place a samurai into a world where everybody kills, you know? Like, killing wouldn't be considered evil, especially if you're doing it to survive. It's like, then you will have to create something then you will need to define what's good and what's evil in that world, because like killing would be like the main thing people will go to for good and evil, but that's not what you're trying to tell is not a human story or a realistic story. It's a story set within your own world with your own characters and your own concepts and ideas that you want to share with everyone, so
yeah, I know.
That's what a lot of the fucking people don't understand. Is that
because what's it called? Oh, let me. So about the Green Arrow, like it's the best explanation I can say right now. But so first season where he killed ruthlessly because of what's it called, and then that's why he was like a menace or whatever. And then they try to change it up where he tried to a new thing where he tried to just beat him up or whatever, and then what's it called? They realize that they're different than the other CW shows like The Flash and fucking Supergirl or whatever. So they went back to killing in season 5 because they realized they're fucking different. So but I don't know. I feel like they messed that shit up. But then, what's it called? In season season 6, where this guy what's it called? He was like Prometheus or whatever, and he made him realize that he liked them kill people. Because he was trying to make him admit that he liked killing people or whatever. And then he didn't want to admit that to himself. He was battling that shit inside because he likes killing. That's why he was struggling.
Oh, so basically, okay, is he a hero? Is he is he a villain or a hero within the world that he is in? That character you just told me about. What is he?
Wait, the Green Arrow?
No, is it? You talk about the Green Arrow? I'm talking about the nigga you was just talking about that killing or whatever. What is he?
That's the Green Arrow. That I said this villain or whatever, Prometheus, made him what's it called? Admit to himself that he liked killing, because the Green Arrow he was struggling that shit inside. Because he didn't.
For the most part, then that would make him an enigma as a whole, because it would then blur his motives towards what is he really doing this for? When he could literally let someone off the hook instead of just killing that nigga mercilessly. Yeah, I understand. That's actually a good device. It's not the best one, but it's still something to try to change and be different from any other show where them niggas just blindlessly good for no fucking reason. I hate shit like that, bro. That's why I can't watch you, because for me that just feel like a character that has no depth. Why, bro? For no reason. They be just fucking, unless the only way that I can see that fit is if I'm not saying that that's a bad thing to have characters like that, but it depends on the story that you put them in. Say you have a story that revolves around the other characters surrounding the main character, and say I'm basically basing this off Monogatari, because this Monogatari is about the characters besides the main character. The side character, it's all about the side characters. They're all girls, by the way, and how they deal with their problems and how they deal with their inner turmoil and how they get how they change over the course of the series. And Araragi is kind of a catalyst. Here's the theme of here's a lingering theme throughout the show. You can't you cannot truly save anyone unless they want to be saved. You can't save someone, they have to save themselves. So Araragi there is just a catalyst to help them realize their problems. Yeah, he's a goody two shoes, and yeah, he has the self-destructive good tendencies, but he's never really the one who solves the problems for the characters within the story, right? He just helps as a device to bring them to the surface. And that's why you can't help but not hate the nigga, cause within his own respective story, he does a good damn job. Whatever the fuck he needs to get done, he does what he needs to do within his story for actually instead of fucking just being good to be good, not to further the narrative or nothing like that. It's just him fucking just being a good ass nigga and fucking solving the problems for the females themselves. Then it would be a then I wouldn't like it, but it's not that the way it is. He's just there to fucking help reveal their problems and help them, and they solve it on their own. He could never really solve it for them. And that also creates fucking what's his called, since he's so good, fucking also like internal struggles for himself on how like he can't really help. So it's basically a double-edged sword. You could, and for the most part, it's basically perspective. You could take that however you please. I take it that way. Another person might take it like the way of like they hate him because of like the way, because they don't see what he really does for like the series as a whole. But
yeah, I know what you mean.
That's about all I gotta say. But I'm probably not gonna watch The Last Airbender because I'm gonna fucking hate it, most definitely. Because it's catered towards children. If some kid, because I'm more into like fucking.
It's the old school version, like not the new school version where like, you know, like
Korra, Legend of Korra. I'm talking about the one with Aang in it, nigga.
Like
Aang, the bald nigga with the arrow.
Yeah, that's what's it called? It's what's it called? You know how like teens? Well, this is Cartoon Network, but like it was its old version of kids. You know what I mean? Like where like
Nicktoons.
Like remember Teen Titans before the cringe, like not the cringy version, but
Teen
the good
Titans
one.
before like they went full like, cause Teen Titans actually like you could see from the beginning how different Teen Titans Go is, cause like the color palette for the Teen Titans is more of a darker, you know, gritty, like
I was about to say that's dark.
Yeah, that like that's like you can't. That's important too. Like the animation and like different like in the fucking like drawing of a show can help to set the tone, you know, for the most part of the show. You can't have like a show that's about murdering niggas and have just like such a colorful like background and scenery on it. Then it's just gonna make it like you gonna just like think that the murdering just not to be taken seriously, or it's like, you know, not, you know, it just never really feels like it has any real weight or impact to it more than just it being there to be there for the story because it's a part of the story.
That's true. Because I remember that shit was like awesome. Everyone's like, you either say the good Teen Titans or the bad Teen Titans or the new Teen Titans or whatever. Because I remember that shit was fucking.
And for the most part, for me, darker stories usually tend to have way better like protagonists and characters and stuff like that than say a lighthearted story would. Like what, say like popular shonen like Naruto and fucking Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, and fucking different shows like that. If you have a consistent light tone, the moment you throw in a fucking random ass dark tone, it's already gonna be diminished because you already know they not about to pull some fuck ass shit and just like kill everybody in the show, or like it's just like pointless cliffhangers that aren't even cliffhangers because you know what the fuck gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's just bullshit. It's just terrible writing. If you really wanted to do something like that, then at least keep a balance between the tones and not make the whole show lighthearted, or at least go full dark. Full dark. Go full dark.
Hey, do you think what's it called? Like, you know how there's sometimes on the shows there'll be too many characters, or they're gonna be like, you know, what's called not. Do you believe not enough characters or like too much characters? Like, you know, like what I mean, like. What's it called? Like there's.
It depends on the setting which with the and with the show it is. I mean, it depends on the setting from which the show is in. Like you could say you could have a show about. You could have a show that's a amalgamation or like a compilation, a compendium of just short stories about different people and what they go through or what they have to go on, and like explore those characters within their own separate arcs of different storylines, rather than just trying to compile them within one big storyline, which would make them seem so subsequential and just so like fucking unnecessary and bland because you don't have enough time to build upon them because you're so focused on this whole overarching story to further the narrative that you don't have time for the other characters. That's what the problem with My Hero Academia is. You haven't watched that show, but you can't, like, My Hero Academia is about superheroes and shit, but there's still like a main character and he remains like the main focus. So like they never really give enough time for all these other like multiple characters that they fucking have. So they just end up feeling stale and just generic and there for no fucking reason. Yeah, they have key character traits that they reoccur and like play into sometimes, but that never really felt like depth to me because there's no development or change within the characters, period. Like a good character to me is something that changes over time, and you can't really do that if you never really give the characters the time of day to change. Like, yeah, Donovan, having too many characters, having too little characters can't really be a problem. Depending on, like, I can't really think of like a situation where too little characters is a situation, like actually a thing. I can't really think of that. But then you would need to have such like diverse characters, and it would have to be so unique that it would actually benefit from having so little characters, because there's so much time to place within these like few characters that they already feel like so fleshed out and so like, you know, developed, that you grow an attachment towards them that like is, you know, understandable, because you've been experiencing a lot of things that they've experienced through like all the time that you've had. But if you like, you said, see, I hope that explains a lot, because like you can have too many characters, you can have, I never believe having too little characters is an issue that doesn't exist. But yeah, you can have too many characters.
Like,
unless,
okay, so the Flash. Okay, I'm just gonna say example. The Flash, I felt like it got terrible. Like first and second season were like good, but I felt like it fell apart in third season because literally everyone knew what like the Flash's secret was, like who's his identity. Literally everyone that he knows knows that he's the Flash, and I'm like, why is there like 20 people that know this shit? Like in the first season, second season, no one barely even knew about that shit, and it was like, alright, good. So he's trying to like, you know, find like a line where he's trying to keep his secret identity or whatever. But then everyone knows. I'm like, god damn, what the fuck, man? There's too many people that know that shit. And then no one has been kidnapped by it. Like, I don't understand that shit. I was like lost, because I feel like
that's just bad. That's just bad writing on their part, because they didn't really give any exposition to the situation. I never really tried to explain it.
Oh yeah, and what's it called? They changed directors at that time, so that's probably why you fucked it up.
Yeah, that's a big problem. Directors, for the most part, if you have a director whose style is completely different, because for the most part, an ass director or a good director could make like change the show as a whole.
I got a
literally change the show as a whole. What?
Like, okay, Superman versus Batman, right? Whoever, like, they made the Superman character, the director who directed that movie was like that, he directed the Batman movie, and he made the shit like dark. He made Superman very dark, and that shit, it's not Superman vibe. Superman's vibe is only like a good, you know, not like a dark version like Batman is, like, you know.
Yeah, like, yeah, exactly. I'm trying to say is like directors literally like could change the entire flow of a series and set the tone of a series. If you have a masterful director, or if you have like the original creator of the show working with the directors, that makes for the best experience possible. Or if you have like a team of directors that just like fight and like feud between each other and like try to pick sides on different types of like that ways to go with the direction, then that could cause a problem as a whole. What you really need is synthesis between the creator and the fucking director, like one true director, so he could like so that he could bring the creator's like vision to life, if like so he could have like, you know, the true tone and the true meaning behind a lot of things. Because like for first and foremost, for directing for anime, they direct the fights, they direct like the movement and stuff like that, and like for the most part, movement and facial expressions in anime could tell a story. It's like they could like literally can establish like character traits and like create a whole story in its own. So if you don't really get these things down packed and you don't really do these things right, it could just be like either like a piece, just a clusterfuck of just bullshit going on, or it could just be like a masterpiece that's masterfully directed and going where you need to go to like suit the story from which you're trying to like fucking create. It's just like, it's a hit or miss. Either you have a garbage director or a good director. There's no real in between, because like you'll notice if the director garbage or not. And that's the problem with like, you know, shows that have multiple seasons, because they tend to choose directors differently. And for the most part, I don't think people want to have like stories that change much like that over time. It like, some shows could benefit from changing, but a lot of shows would benefit more from a consistent, you know, tone and things like that's going on. Like if you're trying to tell a whole story, different story as a whole, then a different director probably would be amazing. Like if you're trying to like set up a whole nother character within your world or within your story, then a whole nother director for that character would be cool, because like a lot of different directors don't know how to do things right, so another director would actually help out in that situation. But you can't have the same things and then try to make a twist upon it like it's gonna be for the better. No, it's not. It's just gonna be bullshit, and a lot of people don't take kindly to change, especially if that change is a bad one, or if there was nothing wrong with the first thing in the like first place, you know.
Yeah.
Change isn't always good, but change could be good. It's not always good, but it could be good.
Yeah, that's true.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if it's fucking fixed, don't try to fix it more than it's already fixed. Fuck. Because you can't make perfection, like I said.
I'm trying to remember what the fuck. I just got an Ambler child abduction.
No! Wanna close the door. Close your door, lock your door. Safe, like, so nobody get abducted within your crib. I got an Amber Alert, bro. Lock your door.
No, fuck. Wait, is my phone on like 20%? Oh shit, I've been watching.
No, I hope you're not actually locking the door, nigga. I said I got an Amber Alert.
Oh my, bruh. I'm trying to remember that. What's it called? They do. No. Oh, shoot. I swear, all like the first movies are always the best. I swear.
First movie?
Like the first movies of like the story, like Iron Man. What's it called? They have to make that shit perfect. Because if they fucked up once, the bank would have taken their money and they would have never been like, you know.
Yeah, I can't really relate to you on that one, because I witnessed like the Berserk trilogy. Like the first movie was the worst one actually, and then they got better over time. The first one was like the worst. Second one was better. Third one was the best. Like things could get better over time. But like the first movie doesn't always have to necessarily be the best, but it would help if it's the best, because it'll get a lot of people clicked onto the series and then notice that the other movie's fucking trash. But
yeah, because like, what's it called? Iron Man, they had to make that shit perfect, because if they fucked up, like, then they would have never been like the biggest, you know, movies and like really big in movies. Because what's it called? If they fucked up, they would have been screwed. If they didn't, what's it called? Because they had to borrow money. They had to take a loan out of the bank.
Yeah, but for me, when I watch anime, there shouldn't be one thing carrying the show. It really shouldn't be, bro. There shouldn't be one element carrying the show. Because if there's one element carrying the show, that element better be the fucking most amazing shit I've ever seen in my fucking life. And like, and even if an element is carrying the show, it can't really be the only thing that's like worth it within the show. Yeah, it could be the most, like, the best thing about it, but there also has to be other elements that are still worth, like, you know, sticking around for to see, like, continue onwards. Like, say you can't just have a show with amazing ass, like, fucking action sequences and animation and then have, like, terrible, stupid fucking characters. You can't have that. It just don't blend well. Because then you don't care about what the fuck going on with the characters, unless you just like a faggot ass nigga that only care about the fucking, you know, action scenes within the movie. Then good for you. But you can't just have like these fucking just bland ass generic pussy ass characters you don't care about just fighting. Like, it's like, wow, I care? Like, what the fuck going on? Am I supposed to care about this shit? Who I'm supposed to root for? Who the fuck am I supposed to care about winning? Like, it's just there to be there. Like, yeah.
Yeah, what's it called? Man, I swear, what would be like the best story would be like?
A best story? That's so subjective. To be honest, that's so subjective. Like a show can have a good story, but it's how it builds upon that story that separates it from any other show. That's like saying, cause most works of art are mediocre fucking stories. You can't really say it's a good story just because of the concept of it. It's how they deal with those concepts and how they expand upon them that really makes it a good story. You know? Like fucking, let me think. Like, let me think of something that like handle it fucking terribly. Like Naruto, for example. Naruto, fucking like the story was of like this boy Naruto, a ninja who wanted to become Hokage, basically like the leader of his village, and he wanted people to respect him. And he had like this nine-tailed fox within him. But then it just eventually like spiraled out of control the way they handled it, and like he eventually went from being a ninja and like throwing kunai knives and like, you know, using shurikens to destroying fucking mountains and shit. Like, bitch, you're not supposed to do that, bro. You can't do that.
Yeah,
it's just like
that sounded.
Yeah, I've heard of ramping up the ante and like you know, fucking constantly progressing towards like, you know, like yeah, getting better. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's good for the series. That's basically what I like to call the Dragon Ball Z effect. Like, you constantly have to like up the stakes to the point where like the stakes are so high that there's nowhere they're about to fucking lose. There's no way they're gonna lose, because if they lose, everything's gone. Like, and I don't think a lot of fucking writers have the nuts out of balls to go out with that, like go through with that, you know? Like, you can't put the stakes too high, or it's gonna be like so predictable that they gonna win. Like, you gotta have stakes with sentimental value to the characters, or stakes like that mean something more than just like something that's blatantly like bad that's going to happen if they don't fucking do this shit, because then you're gonna know they're not about to fucking lose. Like, there has to be more to it than just like one-dimensional. Oh, if I blow up, if I beat the fuck out you, I'm killing your whole family. Like, there's gotta be more than just
like,
no damn well if you're not like. Yeah,
like,
there's gotta be something more driving the force. Like, it doesn't even have to be that big of stakes. Like, you could set the bar low. It could be low stakes, but make it mean so much to the characters that you have no point but to care, you know? You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't always have to be so big within the grand scheme. It could be so small and so insignificant, but so impactful and monumental to the characters that you have to care. It's like, yeah, but a lot of writers just don't get that. They really don't. They don't.
Cause what's it called? Like, what was I say? Would you rather have like a person, right? He has little powers or whatever, but when he has his like big fight, he'll literally like beat the fuck out of him in one hit, or no? Or just like not be
well, that depends on if like the like, I don't care about a powerful protagonist. I really don't care about a powerful protagonist, and I don't really care about progress, because for the most part, the thing, like, if you're gonna make a show like that where like, you know, the characters like, okay, let me try to elaborate this as best as possible. I have no problem with like fucking overpowered characters, or characters that are like strong within their respective universes. It's how you handle those characters that piss me the fuck off. If you just blatantly just rub it in our face that he like undefeated, or like he just winning for the sake of winning, then that shit'll piss me the fuck off. But say you have an overpowered character. Yeah, say you have an overpowered character, but in the grand scheme of things, he's still insignificant within the world that he's set in. Like Berserk. I'm using anime as example because that's the only way I can really like express these things. But like, say Berserk. The main character is a nigga who fucking is basically like, he's so good with a sword that like he's basically like no other human being alive, like, because like it's in medieval times, and like basically your sword is what, like, yeah, like how good you are with a sword determines your status and shit like that. And like, since he was 6 years old, he's been training with fucking swords, so like he's like above any other fucking like person that ever existed. And like, you know, with like with the sword, like with his blade, he's unmatched. But as a human being, he still has problems. Like, he could be overpowered, but he still struggles with himself internally. Physically, he's like this incredible person. Like, as a warrior, he's incredible, but as a human, he's inadequate, because he's constantly struggling with himself and trying to do the best that he can to be the best person. But you gotta think about it like this. He never really had like a childhood. He never really got to experience humanity like every other person really could, so he's not the best at being human. So he constantly tries to do right, but it ends up being wrong, or it ends up being like, you know, stabbing him in the back. You know, he tries, but he ends up failing. And there's nothing wrong with that, because at least at least he's losing some type of battle in a way where he doesn't seem like this godlike figure that's like untouchable or invincible, or like is it so perfect that like there's no reason for you to want him, like there's no reason for like his defeat to be so like impactful or to even be like predictable at all, to exist in the future at all. Like, you can't just make an overpowered character with no substance or depth to him. If he's just overpowered to be overpowered, then that shit just garbage and it fall flat on his ass, and you just hate how this nigga, like, there's no stakes and there's nothing to like care about, cause oh, this nigga just go beat the fucking nigga ass. Like, it's no point. Like, same with Dragon Ball Z. Like Dragon Ball Z, like you don't really care, cause like you already know they about to win. That you already know the fucking writer gonna suck that nigga dick and give him a power up that like he never had before. Like, it's just bullshit. It's just terrible writing. You gotta have something. You gotta have something. Like, even though he's winning all these battles, you gotta make sure he's losing something. You know? Be it internally or physically. There's gotta be something that he's losing. He can't always be winning. Because then you're trying to make the character perfection. And like I said, perfection is never gonna be something that ever happens. And if you try to reach perfection, you're gonna end up just fucking looking stupid and fucking making a generic bland ass character, because perfection is something that like a lot of writers try to fucking make these days, and it end up being the same thing as any other character possible. So perfection is stupid and dumb to me, and you should never try to be perfect in any way possible.
Yeah, I mean, hello, fuck. No, what? Oh my god. You gotta be shitting me. Do I have to do this?
Oh yeah, and also if they're powerful, you could try to set some type of limitation on them. Like Guts, he's still human, so his body, even though he's strong and like he basically has this armor that allows him to transcend human like strength and perception and different capabilities. The armor basically nullifies all the pain he has, and like it removes his like muscle, like the things that did like the things that your brain put on your muscles, so you don't fucking tear your body apart. To like from tearing your body apart from using the full power of your muscles and shit. So he has this armor that does that and like numbs pain and holds his body together even when he's like his bones are broken and shit like that. So he can keep fighting onwards and onwards. But when he takes that armor off, all he has left is just his broken body, like, and scars from like when he was fighting. You know, you don't necessarily have to like make it so like he's like has a weakness. But at least make it so, like I said before, he's losing battles at the same time as winning battles, be it internally or physical.
Yeah, that should be.
How long? Tell you when I'm getting off?
There we go. Bro, city skyline, what's it called? Fix this damn highway. God damn, wait, what the fuck, what am I losing? I'm losing money. Why am I losing money? Bro, how is that my fault, my guy? Look how this tower is like that. God damn, there's a lot of people dying. Cause I'll be shitty being crying. Ah, shit. I hope they make the new Avatar TV show good. If they don't, I'm gonna be mad.
I can name like multiple other fucking things because my brain working right now on that topic that you said before on how to balance an overpowered character, but I don't feel like naming those examples. So Hey, Marlon.
Hello.
All you do is play Modern Warfare every day.
Nah, he lying. He said hot bone. I'm like, alright.
I like how Donovan and Jordan were playing it earlier today.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, we could. Why wouldn't we invite some trash person?
Trash.
Did y'all catch a win?
Yeah, we actually did.
Uh-huh.
Why don't you look at my live stream?
Hey, you wanna know I could check your wins, right?
Okay. Yeah. You can also check how many games I played, alright? Yeah, I could check yours. It probably says like 1,000 or some shit like that.
I got one win, and you can't check how many games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you can.
Marlon. These niggas went on a 100-game win streak. What the fuck?
Okay.
Yeah. Some niggas.
It's like, I know all the 2K streamers. Oh, there we go. There we go, but yeah, I'm gonna shave all my hair off so I can become the next avatar.
Uh-huh.
Last stand. Baby.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to enjoy Avatar. I remember watching like a few episodes of it, like back when I was younger on Nicktoons. But I'm not that same person, so I'm not gonna be able to enjoy it. I care too much about how the show is written and fucking how good a show is, rather than if I enjoy it or not.
I enjoyed it, but for you it might be different. It's different for people.
Yeah, it's very different for people. Like, a lot of people just blindly watch shows and just like think that if they enjoying the show and like a lot of fun things and cool things happen in the show, then it's a good show. That's not the case. It's really not.
There's at least not that many fights as I remembered, like, cause there's only like, well, they do a lot of story talking and everything. I'm not even gonna lie, cause if you're a person that wants action like all the time, that isn't the thing for you. Of course it has action, but it doesn't have like fucking action every 30 seconds, you know, where it's literally just them fighting every time. It's what's it called? It's mixed up. Which I like it, because it explains a lot about the story and everything. Damn, I have this toll over here, bro. Oh, let's see how much money. Damn, 136. That's not a lot. We need to tax that shit higher. Why the fuck is there bridges like that?
I'll be so disappointed in the human race sometimes. I try not to dwell within others in the anime community unless they fucking at least try to be fucking like just like more than the average fucking viewer. Cause the average viewer just be saying some pussy ass shit that be pissing me the fuck off, and them niggas be saying like they be sounding so retarded to me.
That man went Super Saiyan.
No, like they be trying to claim like the average viewer. What I mean is like they'll watch one anime and claim it's the greatest fucking anime of all time. One, the greatest anime of all time doesn't exist, and second off, like it usually be fucking the most garbage shows and overrated shows that they say is fucking so good. But I know why they say it. I know exactly why they say it. Bro, this one fight, bro. Oh my god, I got the chills. It's so good. Like, bro, shut the fuck up, please, man. I can't relate with any of these people, bro. Cause I look for more than that. Like a lot of the shows that people say are so fucking good and amazing and greatest anime of all time, I end up not being able to even finish because of how fucking terribly written and garbage they are. For me, like, I don't care if the fucking show has good fights or good animation. That doesn't make this show for me. It really doesn't. There has to have more than just that. It has to have fucking, That's what I said before. That's what I said before. Substance over quality. That's what I said. Substance over quality.
Because of course I would like a badass scene, to happen, but like, You gotta have something else also.
Yeah, like to be honest, if a show's so badly written, I quit before the badass scene even come. Like this one anime I recently watched called Demon Slayer. I was 20 episodes in, it's 26 episodes, and I had basically saw everything I needed to see from it. So I was like, yeah, this show really isn't what everybody made it out to be. So I fucking like, I stopped right before like the reason everybody calling it the greatest fucking show of all time because it is one fucking fight because of all the animation, and I was like, nah, I don't need to, bro. I've seen everything I need to see from the show. That fight not gonna change my opinion at all on the show because that don't make the show for me. And a lot of people will fucking get on my dick about that shit, but I really don't care what other anime fans think because most of them just retarded. Every once in a while you'll find that like one person who actually like, because for me, to be honest, I think of anime like in the mindset of like a lot of people who are veteran anime watchers, like who actually like been watching anime for years, like 10 years and shit, you know? Cause I just wanted myself to think like that rather than being everybody else. I was like, because I would first and foremost try to expose myself to the good shit so I can know what's good and what's not good. So I wouldn't blame someone for not knowing what the fuck is good and what's not good. But when you just blatantly lie and say something is like the best of all time, like just shut up, bro, please. Because a lot of niggas be saying the stupidest shit and that should be pissing me the fuck off. That's why I try not to look at Instagram because my shit be mostly anime. And I do not be wanting to look at retarded ass shit. Niggas be saying like,
yeah, I understand. Bro, my teachers, bro, I'm mad at them. They're not even fucking grading my shit right now. I did like 20 quizzes or whatever. They didn't grade that shit. And then one girl, or not one girl, Miss Wood just graded one quiz, and I'm like, what?
That's one of the reasons why I'm not doing it. Because even when I was in school, they would still take a whole month to grade my stuff. Imagine when you had it.
Bro, I'm making, because the only class I'm worried about is theater tech and div, man, because I don't know how to do that shit.
I felt bad.
Fail biology, how the fuck? Chemistry is so hard. Wait, what the fuck wait, did you do chemistry?
I said it was hard.
No, did you do chemistry?
No, I did.
What did you do last year?
Environmental science.
What the you know that's literally biology. What the fuck?
yeah, but no, environmental, what? That's ecology, stupid ass. That's ecology, stupid ass. Man, you don't know what bio literally means living. I don't think fucking, bro. Living organisms. Biology is the study of living creatures, not fucking plants and vegetation, nigga. Living creatures. Fuck, living organisms. Yeah, plants are living, but they're usually not fucking considered within like the realm of fucking biology. They're in ecology, the studying of ecosystems and ecological life forms. So mostly plants and vegetation. You just, yeah,
No, we learned plants in biology. We literally did. Because we had to learn about the food chain and everything. Or not food
we
chain,
didn't,
like,
yeah, they're living, but we learned about their cell structure.
Yeah, their cell structure and everything. Like, they're living. It's weird. I thought you said, at first I thought you said well, never mind. No, that sounded stupid. What the hell? Oh my god, this fucking dam is like flooding up over here, boy. They didn't unflood. That shit makes total sense.
I'm gonna be a freshman, so I'm
A freshman?
yeah, I'm gonna be in a freshman. No, not a freshman, sophomore.
You're gonna be in a wait, wait.
I'm gonna be in a sophomore class while I am
Oh, that's tough, my guy. That I will feel embarrassed. Cause I was.
There was a whole junior that was in algebra.
Yeah, but still, like, imagine him in that class. That's what you're about to feel right now, cause like.
Not really. I was in algebra this year. It's not my fault that I failed algebra, so don't even call me stupid.
How'd you feel algebra?
We had 5 new teachers because they don't know how to mentor their students. They kept calling
Bro, I had like 20 substitutes in health class, and I still passed that shit.
Health class.
Health. I know. Algebra is easy. It's so easy because literally math has a structure, which has rules.
Who said it was hard?
But why'd you fail it?
Because them teachers kept coming out, like out and in, out and in, out, and it would take like 2 months for the new teacher to come.
But like that shit would be.
And then every
Easy.
new teacher started somewhere else. Like they would start from a different point, even though we didn't learn half of it. And I'm like, I just give up. Most of the class give up. Honestly, it's so ridiculous how they do it.
Mr. Atencio in our class did our work.
Hey, I'm telling you this, Donovan. Donovan. Either there's gonna be fucking like, either everybody gonna get held back, or everybody gonna instantly pass. And if everybody get held back, then they gonna have some protests or some pussy ass shit.
Yeah, everybody pass here.
Come on, shut the fuck up, nigga. Shut up.
Don't you ever do?
Lafayette don't care about their children. They just want them to be young boy fans and smoke weed and shut the fuck.
If you suck, all you gotta do is go watch.
All you gotta do is be a wild young boy fan. That's all you gotta do.
Man, I don't wanna do this radio shit. I'm just gonna watch CP.
That's literally, bro.
It's literally okay.
Man, Marlon be on that pussy ass shit. What pussy ass?
What was it? What was I gonna? There you go, making that money. I got $287,000 in my bank account. Mason, did you hear what I said?
What?
I have $288,000 in my bank account right now.
That's it?
That's it. What you mean that's
Yeah.
it?
In fucking GTA?
No, I'm talking about Sky. It's Skyline.
Oh, that's quite a bit. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm making 18,000 per day. That shit.
Sick, man. Y'all will stop playing with your
Like for the most part, if you have long shows like that, it's best to not fucking like. Never mind. I would just be rambling on about bullshit.
Sometimes they have like random. They don't have random, but like they'll have like little side stories in the middle of the fucking season. They have.
I don't know. For me, it's just the way I think now is like I don't even have to like watch anime the way I do, which is like analyzing basically as I go and being very attentive to everything that's going on, and like to notice something that's special, to notice if a show is special or not. Because usually shows that special, you can instantly tell off the bat. Like, that's why I really hate when I hear about a show that's overrated, I watch it and there's like a reason why there's actually so much attention surrounding it because it's genuinely a good show. Like, say a show is saying, like a lot of people saying, oh, this show's so fucking good and all that shit. And I've heard it so many times before. I've heard it so many times before, and then I watch the show and it's fucking garbage. And then I find a show that like people saying good, and then I actually watch it, and then it's genuinely good. And I don't really need to go into depth to like fucking analyze the entire show to know why it's good. Because for the most part, those themes are laid out for me, and they're genuinely just like built upon or like already fleshed out from when they're introduced to the point where you already like know what the fuck the core elements of the show are that makes it different from those other shows of the same genre. Because it's all about originality and creativity and trying to separate yourself from others of the genre. At least that's what makes a good anime in my book.
Oh my god, this is actually dope. Damn, they got 700. Dude, this looks awesome.
Why that bitch got a mustache, Rose Hope?
But I gotta be educated, gotta be... Damn, uneducated. I gotta get this education system.
Hey, Donovan.
Mm.
Why do you watch TV shows like, you know, Green Arrow and shit like that and stuff? Like just TV shows in general, like dramas and different like shows, you know, real shows like with actual people in them. Why do you watch shows like that?
I don't know, man. It's just something about it.
Especially when it's like DC.
No, Marlon, I'm not saying no, Marlon. I'm not asking it.
What you saying?
No, yeah, I'm just trying to say because like I've done this with people like when I see like posts and stuff on my phone about like why people do certain things or like why people watch anime. They usually have like compilations of just like fights and cool shit going on, and that never really been the same for me because I don't watch anime for that. I really don't. But
it's what's it called? I don't know. It just feels. I don't want to say more realistic, but like if that actually happened, it would look like that in the real world.
Oh,
like,
I know exactly what you're trying to say, and that's exactly what the fuck I want to say too. For me, I watch anime because I want to see, you know, what other people's, you know, dreams and imaginations and their stories that they thought upon, like from their like life experience and different things that they want to share with other people, and I want to experience it myself. I want to experience someone else's, you know, imagination and put myself, you know, because everyone has an imagination, and different shows feed into your imagination in different ways, and your perception feeds into, you know, brighter picture. But like, for the most part, I watch anime because I just want to experience stories and experience, you know, dreams and different fucking other people's imaginations.
Like,
and I get that. That's probably what you were saying too, Donovan. It's like you want to experience a story, but you know, in a relatable way to the point where you know it's still human. It remains has a human element to it while being like out of this world.
Yeah. Cause there'll be some shit like on anime, not like I'm just gonna say cartoons or anime or whatever, like where that shit like if. You know, like someone's like grabbing, yeah. Like, if that shit actually like happened in the real world, I actually want to see it, and I want to like, cause I know there'd be CGI shit, but like maybe that's
CGI for me.
Yeah, CGI.
I fucking hate CGI. Don't bring that shit up to me, cause that's what ruined Berserk 2016 for me, because the CGI was so fucking garbage. But for me, I like how, you know, sometimes it could be so hyper. Like fucking fantasy. I like fantasy artworks because it's just a whole nother thing you can't experience within the real world. You're experiencing things that could never happen, and that's the beauty of it. Because it's just a whole new experience, no matter what you're watching. Unless they basically just bootlegging and just copying the fuck out of something else. But like, I like experiencing these new things and experiencing the characters when the story and experiencing like someone else's story that they created from their, you know, like personal experiences, dreams, and imaginations. I get it, and I can get exactly why you wouldn't want to watch anime, because you like the hyper realistic and hyper realism like elements towards like fantasy.
Yeah.
Yet it's a fantasy story set within a modern, like, or futuristic take on human society and like Earth on like set on like, you know, done within a realistic style.
About CGI, wait, this is like the only show I can ever say CGI is like good at, like, is The Flash, because what's it called? Like the light.
Oh yeah, that's because you're talking about CGI within realism, within a realism setting. Like for me, CGI and anime,
I don't think that would mix good.
Oh no, it don't, man. It don't, and that shit ass, bro. It be fucking my whole life up, bro. When I see that shit, I be like, oh no, get off the screen, please.
Like, Avatar, like, not like the Last Airbender, the other Avatar, the blue people, like that one.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my,
CGI on that movie is fucking incredible. It's
Yeah.
incredible. I know.
Yeah, that movie was like, I'm not gonna say it's best of all time, but like best for me. I'm just gonna say that 'cause it's mostly for everyone. Because what's it called? It's still number one for movies, like because what's it called? It sold the most shit and everything like that, and they got so many fucking awards.
I think Infinity War.
No, it didn't. It's second still. Avatar is still number one. Yeah, it got up there, but it's not like like it's by it, but it's not. It's like I think it's
they
like
made billions of dollars off that movie, like, cause the budget the budget was high, but they made so much more from like besides like after the budget was spent, that like they made billions in net gross.
Yeah, they broke the boundaries between like human, like, because there was a lot of human contact with CGI, and like, because CGI, you can't put like that shit, like it's not in, you can't, like, what's it called, humans can't make contact with CGI, but like it broke the boundaries between humans and CGI, where literally like they were making
blends them together and makes them
they were like interacting with each other, like it, like what's it called, like if like the Avatar like touched him, it would show like him, like his skin, like if like poked at him, the skin reacted to that or whatever. Like I forgot what they did. It was like,
oh, I know what you're talking about. It's like a revolution and like a whole new like fucking like landmark for future movies and things like that. To like, it's a stepping stone. It was like something else, no one else experienced before. Something so unique and so different, because the way that they handled it. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about, because people have been able to blend CGI with human parts or something like that to say give you a robot arm. Or to make completely different like beings as a whole, but they never really blended them together to give such a realistic feel to it that like it seemed like it never even like it seemed so like real that like the CGI wasn't even a part. Yeah, and they've done that with those like suits that were on their body.
Yeah. Damn, man. When are you gonna get
Marlon be on that pussy ass shit, and second of all, it's a whole nother thing. So I don't know what the fuck you talking about. How long we gonna talk about that? The fuck up, Marlon. Man, fuck you, nigga. I'm muting you. Damn, bro. Pussy ass nigga, man. Fucking faggot ass nigga.
I forgot there was like an Indian movie or whatever where they made the guy short and they were interacting with each other, like, which it was this not like, what's it called? No one knew about it because it was fucking an Indian.
It was obscure.
Yeah, it like when the like what's it called? That the YouTubers that do CGI. I forgot their name. They're using it on the training page. Well, basically they were talking about it, and like they were trying to figure out a way how in the fuck they actually did that. And
I'm sorry, Mom. Thank you. I'll never mute you again. It was an accident. Continue, Donovan.
Like, what's it called? Because the guy was actually taller than her, but like they were interacting with each other while he was a short person and she was like the normal height, which was unbelievably like.
Usually people would get like doubles or just like a whole different fucking person, or like a normal like short little person as they would call themselves for the role. But it depends on how short he was. He wasn't that short, right? He was just a little bit shorter.
They made him like, what's it called? They made him like 4 foot or something like that, and he was
for
like
a midget.
6 foot.
They could have got like a little person for it, bro. Could have got a midget.
Yeah, but he was, I don't know. I guess they just. Oh no! The movie is about when he was like. I think it was like a movie where he grew or some shit like that. I don't know. It was some shit like that. There's no good actors that are like midgets. So. I don't know. Shit, get it real white. Hey, I be looking at my type.
Like for me,
Uh,
something that's really good or like a genuinely good like work, you know, like a genuinely good thing would be something like so good and with so many things good about it that you can't really put it into words and you can't explain why you love it so much. That's what something really good is to me. No more, no less. Yeah, there's things mediocre with something like a few things that are good about it, but if there isn't like so many things good about it that you can't even name them all, and you just get like you can't explain why you like it so much because there's so many things good about it, then it's usually just mediocre.
that's true. What's it called?
I need to go to rest. Ain't more. We gonna be playing that fair tomorrow. One of them. Man, I gotta finish this Berserk episode. I'm almost done with Berserk 97. And then I'm gonna just read manga. I'm gonna read fucking Bake Monogatari. I gotta start on Bake. I gotta finish my Berserk reread. I gotta finish Kingin. I can finish them.
Oh, I'm about to make out. Oh fuck! Hold up, I'm making that shit. Oh, this shit about to be awesome.
Because for me, like when I try to, it's hard for me to explain what's good about a show or recommend a show to somebody without trying to go into depth and do an analysis on the thing to explain everything that's good about it. I can't like phrase like genuinely good shows into words like a lot of people could do. Like I said before, I view things differently than other people. I can't really just say, bro, it's so good, bro, bro, the animation or something like that's so good. Like, no, because that's not what makes a show for me. There's so, like, genuinely, there's so many things for me to put into words that I can't put them into words. Like, that's why people would make, like, analytical videos or some, like, shit like that, or, like, different, like, dissections of different, you know, fucking books or things that they love, because they try to put all these things that they have and all these feelings into words to try to, like, get people to feel the same passion that they have for the work of art.
Bro, damn, I'm making Alcatraz over
I'm
here.
on just sitting here like quiet, bro. What you watching? Don't tell me you watching Avatar. What you watching? What you watch? The Green Hornet? Oh, they got that movie?
Yeah, they do.
I'm getting the fuck, bitch. I'm watching that movie right now. What the fuck? I love that movie. Yes, the fuck I do. The Green Hornet? They got Seth Rogen in that bitch, and they got that other Asian nigga. I watched that movie before. That shit good, bro. I love that movie, bro. Get the fuck, man.
Damn.
I just finished it right now.
I don't know, man.
I watched it before.
That shit funny.
Yeah, it's funny. When I first watched it, at the time I was looking for like a superhero movie, like with fucking action, cause I was just in the. I know, I thought it was, cause I was like in the mood with a superhero movie.
Yeah, it's like a subversion slash like fucking parody of the fucking superhero.
It was like
genre.
the what's it called? You know the movie where they like I think they like go to North Korea. Called. They have it on Netflix.
Yeah, I genuinely respect like fucking like parodies and fucking like different subversions of like tropes within different like genres and different like things like that. Especially if it's like the genre becomes so oversaturated and boring that it all feel the fucking same. Like, yeah, I really like that shit, to be honest. That shit really fucking. Oh, Parasite is on fucking Netflix. When did they add Parasite to Netflix? I do gotta rewatch Parasite though. They got Hunter x Hunter on that bitch. I'm gonna need to rewatch that shit eventually. My third rewatch. I'm on probably like, bro, what? What would you watch? What's that, man? I'll rewatch that shit 2 times. I'm gonna rewatch it a 3rd time too. They got 61 episodes in Avatar. That's probably not the whole series, is it? Yeah, this a Nickelodeon show. I'm not watching that bullshit. What's this called? Okay. Green Hornet. Hey, Marlon.
I'm actually about to watch what's it called? I'm gonna go continue watching Avatar because I'm on the 3rd chapter. And this shit getting good because now he's about to fucking master fire. Oh yeah, what's it called? Oh yeah, he has like a conflict inside of him because fire is like not like you can't really control it. And he tried to use fire once and then burn his like what's it called, that blue, not that blue bitch, the bitch from like the tribe that found him or whatever. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm never gonna use it ever again. Then he has a conflict inside of him that like what's it called? I'm not describing it really good, but I really
That's my goal. That's why I'm continuing to consume and watch anime so I can get better at these things.
yeah, because I just can't describe fucking it's like I don't know. It's different. Like, I don't know. Some people like describe it in a different way. Hold up, let me go do this for a minute. Hold up. If you enjoy the stream, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, post notifications down below. I'm gonna go watch Avatar: The Last Airbender. You know, I recommend you go check it out. And peace. Alright, I'm back.